Hello everybody, welcome to welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. I was going to skip a couple of words there. I got so excited, I looked down at a card and all of a sudden I started hearing messages. I'm like, everybody slow your roll. I just want to share this nice occurrence that just happened to me. We went out and we had to go get some groceries and stuff, and it just seemed like a perfectly normal experience and day, which was really nice to see. Everybody was patient. It's sunny, it's beautiful out, you know, the shelves were well stocked, and it was just a really nice breath of fresh air. So I feel really good and grounded from that. And I also, you know, love just connecting with people outside and smiling and seeing them walking their dogs, getting, you know, that big breath of fresh air and feeling good. It's really, really nice. So that being said, we are going to go into more soulmate in depth. I know a lot of you guys are new to the channel that just hopped on, so I'm going to do some new soulmate updates. This is going to be, again, we're going to seek out initials, some past life connections, what's going on with that, personality traits, things of that nature, and just find out. But we're going to begin too with a nice special message for each of you when it comes to your grouping. And some of you guys were DMing me if I had any more of my supercharged hearts left from Stonehenge, and I do. I think I have 3 left in the shop. It'll say on the thing. So I just wanted to show you what they look like, because I love these, and I think rose quartz are such a beautiful stone for also just self-love and compassion. It's one of the most calming stones to wear. It's just, you slow your roll and you focus and you're chill. I love the vibration it gives off. And and some of you guys had questions too about your supercharged crystals that you got from Stonehenge. No, water doesn't take the supercharge away. When you cleanse it, it doesn't. When it is positively charged, the only thing a cleansing does is remove other, like, clinging energy that's negative to it. So taking a negative energy away from it does not remove this supercharge or the power, and especially not water as well. I wear mine in the shower all the time. So thank you guys for those inquiries and stuff, trying to protect your energy and your crystals. I love it. So we have 3 cards to choose from, and I just chose 3 coins for corresponding signs. If they also have any significance to you as well, you can incorporate them, whether it's your sign, you just like that sign, a relative, or whatever. So number 1 is Temptation, also has number 19, and it is a Libran coin. Number 2 is Take Off Your Mask, a number 11, and a Taurian coin. And then we have number 3, which is 35, Home, and it is in, at first I thought that was Aries, but it's Capricorn, because that old goat climbing that mountain like nobody's business. So I'm going to give you guys just a pause to look and decide, and I'm going to have a sip of tea and relax. I'm really trying to make me watching my favorite readers a nice ritual now, where I just relax and that's all I'm doing. I get super comfortable. I get a nice beverage and I have it just be like a little ritual, because, you know, I was noticing that now, even when we're allowed to super slow down, and we should, and notice all the little things, I was like trying to still multitask this morning, and I'm like, what are you doing? You feel rushed and harried when you're doing more than 2 things at a time. So why are you doing that? And I just released that. I decided to do that and just have each thing be my absolute focus attention. So when we try to do that, we feel like things are more restful as well, and you know, it's much more peaceful. So let's start with number 1 and see what your message is too, from beautiful Pixiekins. We have Chester, who says every day is a fresh new start. Absolutely, every day when we wake up, we get to decide, what do we want to focus on? How are we going to have a good time? What great meal are we going to prepare or eat, or, you know, embellish with some cool stuff later. I love when I create like the perfect icy cold, like lemonade or something, and look forward to it. And it's just like, then I remind myself, really savor that and taste that and luxuriate in it, right? And this is all about luxuriating in things and having everything seem fresh and new, and really enrich the experience by being present within it, right? And because sometimes it's hard for us to remember that. So we're going to see what your soulmate is going to be reminding you of. Well, love, I hope that's awesome. They're also going to help you to be able to say what you mean. They're going to be excellent communicators and help you in that process. One second, I just want to close my door. Hooray, now that I got all the cats to go out, they're not going to land on everything. So, oh, but there's Winter. Now she's like, why is that door closed? So they're going to help you. You know, you're not going to feel stifled, or if, you know, in past relationships, or even currently, if you feel like you have to mask certain things, or, you know, obfuscate or do anything of that nature because you feel like what you're going to say isn't going to be well received. You never feel like you have to do this with your soulmate. You know that true, honest, above board communication, everything is the way to go. And they're like that too, you know, and they even say, you know, I've got some things I want to share, you know, how do you think that'll be received right now? You're going to be able to communicate like that, you know. Nobody is trying to get their angle or agenda. It's all about love, which I really, you know, I respect that, and that's really important. So let's see too what their initials could be. So we have an S and an H, and I'm going to double up on this and pull another one too. There could be a D in there too, so it could be H, D, and an S in there. And right away, I'm feeling that I'm being marked to have some past life connections with them as well. Wow. So we have biblical lessons and blessings and forgiveness. Yeah. So I feel like you guys were, funnily enough, spouses in biblical times. So it was very, you know, it was a very unique society back then. You know, a lot of it was nomadic. A lot of it was like where the food was, a lot of communal living and things like that. So I felt like you really had a lovely existence. And you guys, again, I feel like you were followers of Jesus and the word. Like, I feel like it was shortly after that when, you know, word really spread, and there was this amazing amount of faith and lessons and blessings. And you were realizing that there was something bigger than what was purported, you know, more than just where our immediate crops came from, what society thought of us, how much money we had, what the respect we earned, all that. There was something bigger where all these miracles came from, all these blessings came from. So you were really big on the teachings, and that helps cement your love too. And, you know, part of the teachings were forgiveness. Nobody is perfect. It isn't about blame. And it was just one of those things where there was a broader spectrum understanding of the kind of cosmos, you know, like as we see it, that wonderful vastness of everything, right? The limitlessness. And that's what these teachings were all about. And I feel like you guys were definitely devout followers, and you loved the premise that there was something bigger than ourselves, and there was guidance, and there was love, and there was forgiveness, and all of that. That's really beautiful. So I want to see some things that might have taken place. Wow. Yeah, I feel like you guys were right in the magic miracle mix of it when everything was taking place and word was spreading, and, you know, right when Jesus was performing all these miracles and moving all over, and that, you know, you got to bear witness, obviously, with all of this stuff that kind of centers around this. And, you know, you were really in that time. I love that. I feel like that was an arc of civilization where people became aware, right? The beginning. I definitely feel that's where you were. So let's see what one of your messages are that's coming with this too. The Eight of Emotions says, you feel, I'm going to hold this a little closer so I can see what's going on. You feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life and in your heart. You know that there's more out there waiting for you in the world. It may be time to switch careers, move to a new home or city, or initiate another important change. Do what's right for you and seek out the magical new life. I do feel like that there are some new substantial changes coming your way. What happens as your vibration and your frequency raises and you get in this soulmate mixture, I'm going to be shuffling these while I'm doing this, while you're getting that and feeling all that, new things arise to you, things that will really stand out that don't work for you or that you're trying to move towards. Really crystal sharp clarity on what you do and where you're going. I mean, it is the time. Yeah, look at this. I feel like they're coming in within 3 months. That's your time span. And yeah, look at this. You got double 3. So that's double verified. Also planning in the future, them getting on beautifully with your family and friends, a beautiful integration of family, friends, new kindred spirits, because they bring new friends with them that are kindred spirits to you as well, and everything just blending beautifully. And really, really plan, because I feel like your manifestation is super strong. When this card comes up and you get double 3s and we're talking about soulmates, you're planning, you're actually navigating and blueprinting your future right now. So start writing things down exactly how you'd like it to play out as well, group 1. So beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below if you need a private read. anything at all. My Etsy store that has all your hearts and goodies and amulets and stuff. I already see the cat is like ready to attack. She's like, I need to get up to things. Beautiful though. You're going to be able to say and express yourself beautifully. They're going to really show you what it is to love yourself, your surroundings even more. They just magnify all things that are good. So I'm loving that energy, group 1. Beautiful. So now we're on to number 2, which is take off your mask. So I feel if you chose this, you get to be the unadulterated you, just 100%, like, and they love it. Your authenticity, full throttle. You never feel like you have to hide, not say something, or behave a certain way around them. Everything just comes out really natural. So let's see what's coming out for your fun card. Piper and the Ghostie say, stand up for what you believe in and never let other people steal your joy. I feel like this is you just resurrecting your strongest self. That child, within us that says, don't do that, don't touch it, that's mine, I don't believe in that, that's overstepping. All of that, you're going to be able to really stand up and nobody's going to be able to take advantage of you, even in those subtle ways that people sometimes do. They sometimes try and they try to integrate in there and do certain things. And you're going to say, no, you really have some strong ideas now of what's important in your life, and you're going to be able to stand up to this beautifully. So let's see what they're going to help you do when they come in. Discover your life purpose and your wild side. So yeah, they're going to help you. You probably have 1,000 different formats of how you'd like your life to go and ideas. I already feel like you're creative and you have all these things. They're going to help you hone and really be able to specify what it is and what next step to take to materialize from the dream world into the 3D, what you want to do, because obviously there are steps that have to be taken, right? Our focus, our intention, and then we have to activate it. We have to actually have action towards that. And they're going to be very helpful in that and help you recognize what your gifts and strengths are in a great way. And part of that is by letting just your wild, beautiful, natural self come through. You're not trying to, this is really about you just being you. And when you want to dance and laugh and say something and be silly or mischievous or whatever, just doing it and not turning off that, faucet of how you think you have to behave. You're just going to have all those beautiful special energies that are amazing. So let's see what else is going on right now. So we have food and hunger, trust and faith, communal living. Okay, right now, so this is a past life that you have, and this next card I'm going to pull because I feel like it's something that may come in now. I feel like with phobia, sometimes if we go through a life where we have food and we have hunger, we do have strange food issues. It can be anything. It can be hoarding food. It can be over shopping at the grocery store. It can be eating too much in one sitting because it's almost like you don't know if the next meal's coming. It can be fasting or forgetting to eat for long periods of time, just issues with food. Part of this, and this is weird, this is coming through really, really strong. I feel like this was in the very beginning of the 1600s. This was one of the worst famines in all of Russian history, with as many as 100,000 in Moscow alone, up to 1/3 of the subjects were killed. It was a huge Russian famine. I remember reading about this a long time ago, and it just came up, and that's probably why it just annihilated so much of the population. And I feel like, again, they were with you. You lived in this communal living. It's almost like temporary housing, because there was weird things going on again with this famine, and people were coming together and closer to the farming sources and the food. So people were living in like big barns and building this stuff. And you went through this with your soulmate, and they helped you with trust and faith. And it was terrible. I mean, it was like when there was just almost nothing to be had. But I feel there was a sense of decency among people because they had trust and faith that more would come. So people didn't hoard and go crazy and fight. When things got really dire, people just knew, it was what it was. But because they kept faith and trust and very loving and giving circumstances prevailed, where people weren't killing each other over food where you were directly. And I feel like you probably feel those measures now, like people, when you give and you love and you see yourself never as other or separate, but together, and everybody in this together as a collective, that things work much better. So you may actually have some types of phobias to this day about that. Like this, what's happening right now might bother you quite a bit, of people hoarding. Like, why are they doing that? That makes no sense. That creates issues for other people. If somebody is buying up somebody else's share, it will create an issue down the road. So I feel like that probably is really, sticking with you. But I love the fact that when they come in, we're going to get some time dates. But first, we're going to have some initials really quick. We have S, P. Where is my third card? And we have an I. So I, S, and P for some initials. It can be all different things. And here's something that they're going to be able to help you as well. Right now, they're going to bring a massive friendship. You're going to feel like if in this person, they've been your friend your whole life, when you meet them, it's this sense of calm, stability, and wow, like we have such high compatibility and so much in common. It's one of those things you don't have to work. It's like you don't have to work for conversation. You always have fun and beautiful things to say to each other, and it feels good and light and bright and happy, and like the same things make you laugh. There's a lot of beautiful energy that's intermixed with you guys. I really love that. So let's see what else is. Yeah, I feel like they're very sensitive and creative, very idealistic and perceptive of your needs too. So we're also going to see what your special card is. 8 of emotion. You feel a deep longing for something meaningful in your life. In your heart, you know that there's more out there waiting for you in this world. It may be time to switch careers, move to a new home, a city, or initiate some other important changes. Do what's right. Seek out this magical new life. This is crazy because I just shuffled this and this came up for the first group. I feel like you guys are all initiating change across the board because this circumstances that are going on, these circumstances in the world right now are really bringing to the forefront what we really want out of life, what is important, where to set our new goals. And a lot of you guys are realizing huge shifts. And you know, in order to do that, the most helpful aspect of that is a full-on move. This job that you have, you're like, yeah, no, thank you. Some of these friends or these people that you've been hanging around, just don't do it anymore. You realize that energy. You want a more playful, enthusiastic, friendly group around you, and your kindred spirits are coming in, and we get these nudge, and then we get these nudges by spirit. We're able to evacuate that, so we have a beautiful void left for the people that should be coming in and can be helping for sure. So let's see, you have, for time frames, you have 5 months. And this is something that's coming along with it too. So I definitely feel like there may be an earth sign involved in this, just all these pentacles. And as soon as I was thinking, what's our possible zodiac? An earth sign, which is lovely. You know, Capricorn is very dependable. Taurian energy is fantastic. All of that, you know, really sound earthy energy. And another thing too, I wanted to pull, let me see what's going on with these. Okay, something else that they're really going to teach you about too. Something that's in their art itinerary that's going to be very helpful in your journey is patience. I feel like you might have an impatience. I do. I want results. I'm doing things. I don't like waiting in traffic. I don't like waiting in lines. Waiting gets me, you know, a little not so great headspace because I have this sense of urgency, and I do like to, I don't know why, but I like to feel accomplished at the end of the day, and I don't feel accomplished while I'm waiting in any regard. So that's something that, funnily enough, my children teach me. They're very patient, so I really like that. I watch them, and I realize they're really chill because they know there's no other way. That is part of life. And cool things can be done while we're waiting, right? I mean, I love the fact we can go into quiet meditation. We can really think of how we're going to prepare this great next meal or painting or piece of jewelry or whatever, right? Good daydreaming time for sure, 100%. So that's you guys, beautiful energy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below if you need a private read or anything else. Everything is down there. And I am going to move on to number 3. I was like, I need to have a sip of something to drink. Hey guys, if you want any further elucidation on this, all my links are down below too for private reads for sure. Now we're on to number 3, which is home. If you chose this, I feel right away that from the get-go that they are going to feel like home. They are going to feel like relaxation to you, enjoyment to you. Peace, you know, all of those things, that whole sense of this is where I belong and with whom I belong. So let's see what your little magic message from Pixie Skins is. So you have the Inquisitor G. Newt Shellman, and he says, get out of your shell and explore life. This is such a cool thing to do. Once a day, I'll do something. I'll go, well, what do I ordinarily not do? And if it, something around the yard, go to a new park, go home a different way. That's why I like to really build my vocabulary and find out about all different words. I love words. I love reading. I love words. Create an image in my head, and I feel like the most powerful words actually make us like taste the food, make us see the vista, right? So I'm really into descriptions. So that's something I do too. I will look up words I've never seen before. Art always does this. It opens up many more possibilities and doors, right? So I feel like that's something that's going to help with you. So let's see what's going on in terms of how you had your past life together. So Asia, leaving or travel, and farm. So yeah, again, I feel like you had a past life in Asia together. And again, farming, I feel like there was a lot of rice farming going on and all of that. It's funny because I feel that you were kind of higher on the social grid and you had lots of these farms, but your workers were very important to you. I feel like you were of like the mid nobility, so you had properties. This isn't really in the time of like the shoguns or something, but similar to that, the moneyed families, which was you and your spouse, owned a lot of these farms, and they created money for you. As well as I see silkworms, I see rice, I see all kinds of things. And there was a lot of import export at this time, and it created abundance and wealth for your community. And I feel like you two, it was very important that you looked after your workers. I think they were more like a serfdom back then, because I'm seeing, people, the way people are taxed and everything that's going on. I see all these money chests being filled and paid for, but you were really caring of how people were treated. It was one of those things where it wasn't like life wasn't cheap in your villages. You really cared for people if they had problems with how they were living or flooding or problems, that you would go out in one clean sweep and resolve all these things. Very caring caretakers as well. And I feel like you had a very long, healthy life together. Something about your holistic approaches to how you two lived. You had great medicine people in your village. They understood mushrooms and herbs and everything to a beautiful degree. So you had an extraordinarily long life for that time period. And I always feel like Eastern medicine has always been top notch anyway. It's really amazing. So let's see what these are some of the initials. We have G, C, and E. Very cool. And we have a cat tail because she just wants to be in the middle of everything. All right, and let's get some time frames. So 4 months, I feel like. 6 of Wands. And I feel like the combination of you two together brings some sort of like fame or notoriety. Weirdly enough, I feel a lot of famous musicians or people becoming famous musicians in your life. So if you have your eye on somebody and you think it's totally out of this world, like there's no way, they're like, that person is totally famous, or they start their music career with you and become very famous. There's something to do with music and playing and concerts and things that is your life. And if certain songs and singers are really, really connecting and resonating with you right now, that could be part of the process and why that's happening right now. So right now, to your special messages from your angels is saying, they're asking you to make an important decision that you've been putting off. It's likely you know which choice you should make, but you've been procrastinating, so don't upset someone else. So you don't upset someone else. Ask heaven and guidance to make the choice that celebrates who you truly are. Some of you honestly are thinking of departing a relationship and you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you have a friend that's definitely reading true that you feel like you've outgrown. This person's true nature is coming out more and more, and it's not as desirable as first purported. Their interior needs some work to the degree where you don't want to be their agony aunt or their fixer. We should be in these equal relationships, and you're starting to notice that. And or they're possessive or abusive in one form or another, verbal or otherwise, it doesn't matter. They don't make you feel good and they don't make you feel cherished, or they're acting entitled to your time and your resources. So I feel like some of you don't want to rock the boat, but it is time for that. You already feel that. I also feel like one or two of you have a workmate or a friend that just has to fall away like dead wood. They just do not benefit you in any way, shape, or form. Their energy is heavy. They're using you as a battery pack. You're always like, yeah, it's one of those things. You just feel obligated to them. And when you think of them, you're like, oh, instead of hooray, I get to see, Monica or Ricky or Jennifer or whoever. It's like, no, you're not into it anymore. Now, something else that your soulmate is going to help you feel is that I am presence. They're going to help you to have extreme self-awareness in the moment and live in the moment and be very present, knowing that you are present. And when we're present in our existing state, where we are now, doing the best we can with what we have, where we are, moment to moment, it's really being alive, right? It's really tasting that food. It's really seeing that vista. It's really hearing those words. It's really feeling those feelings. They are going to help that bring you up, you know. You're not going to, you know, have all those weird proclivities anymore to try to do a ton of stuff for no results, like busy, 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 instead of even being effective. Like, you're going to slow down and feel everything like you're by the ocean. You know, you're hearing those waves, soft, gentle waves, deep breathing, calming to you. They are a balm to, you know, what the abrasive world for you, and you for them as well, which is really beautiful. And it's important. And again, I feel like they're highly romantic, and you're going to have faith from the get-go. They have a lot of faith. They're very spiritual. But this is also faith in each other. And because they're that very deep, loyal heart type, you know, they're not looking elsewhere. You know that they're not fixated on who has more or who is, you know, none of that. The grass is not greener for them. They are so happy where they are with you that you're never doubting that. And that's saying something, and that is important in our journey with them. So I'm loving that for your journey, group 3, beautiful energy. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below. Comment if this resonated, or if what stuck out for you and really was like, wow, like that aha moment. And all my links are down below if you need a private read, or if you need your rose quartz to feel love and calm and all those good things. And thank you guys for all your lovely feedback on your private reads and everything else. I appreciate it more than I can say. You guys, you're just out there, you know, razzle dazzle. Love is the elixir of life. And when we feel it, we vibrate at such a beautiful high vibration, and it's healing for other people as well. So it's really important to feel that, have gratitude for it, and, you know, just drink it all in and be aware of it in everyday occurrences as well. So love and light, you guys.